midnight.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Permanent midnight. Just write down permanent midnight somewhere so we don't forget the name.
It must be funny.
Yeah, it must be. I feel like it's gonna be a drama. Well, do you want to see the pictures of it so we can?
We'll do that when we get to it.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Hello and welcome to the No Expectations podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm James.
I'm Max.
And today we're talking about 1976's Assault on Precinct 13, starring Austin Stoker, Darwin Jostin, and Laurie Zimmer.
And this is written and directed by John Carpenter.
So, really excited to check this one out because we're obviously huge John Carpenter fans. And this is one that somehow slipped through the cracks. Never saw it, didn't know a thing about it. And let's talk about it. How'd you feel about the movie, James?
At first I wasn't really enjoying it, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, I actually like this film because it just has reminiscence of the cowboy movies as well too. Because I was reading an article about how John Carpenter was very highly influenced by the cowboy movies. Rio Bravo is one of them. Okay. And he was also influenced by Night of the Living Dead because if you, it makes sense with all them breaking in, they're just all silent. None of the bad guys ever speak or nothing.
They're almost zombie-like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of has that vibe. If you look at the poster there, the Assault on Precinct 13 poster, it looks like a horror B movie from the 1950s. Yeah. It has that look.
I even saw someone mention about the game Resident Evil 2, how that's basically just Assault on Precinct 13 but with zombies.
Makes sense.
So I'm like, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
It's a fun survival film.
It was fun, and it really was beautiful.
It's a slow burn.
Like you said, it was so beautiful and digital. It looked crisp and it looked very new. But
it's 30 years old. I had to look that up again because it didn't seem right. It seems really
06, 16. It's
29.
45 years old.
76.
76.
Yeah.
Oh,
45-year-old movie. Yeah.
It's old.
But it held up pretty well. I got to say, for me, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. But I don't mean that on the low end of 3 out of 5. I mean, it was just it was a solid movie. I enjoyed the action. I loved the soundtrack. John Carpenter did good, especially because this was his first big movie.
Yeah, this was his first big studio movie. So this would be his second film. I think his first one was Dark Star or something like that.
That was a student film that he did.
Yeah, and this was fun fact about the Dark Star too was the studio head, whatever his name was, that helped him fund this movie, I believe. He actually
the UK distributor.
Yeah,
it's called Miracle Films.
Oh,
the
head guy was named Michael Myers, and that's why he.
Yep.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's a fun fact. Wow.
So it was a nod for that.
It's badass.
So I guess this movie didn't do great in the U.S., but in the UK, where Miracle Films was and Michael Myers, the distributor head, did really well. Nice. So I guess it was sort of like a thank you to call him Michael Myers, maybe? I don't know.
That's great, man. Yeah. But I still enjoyed it, and I think it was really good for the time, and the action was pretty gritty. And
it's really dark.
It was really dark. My only complaint on it, though, was I felt like the inciting incident and a lot of the stuff that happened didn't really make sense.
Yeah, it didn't.
I was kind of
it really didn't.
There was no need to, spoiler alert, the whole ice cream truck scene, I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here?
I actually really liked that scene because it was
it was intense.
If we can pull that up too.
Sure.
You know who could have played? Recast real quick. The guy who could have played the ice cream truck because he's not a main character. He could have been played by Ray Romano. Perfect.
Okay. All right.
I thought it was him for a moment.
I could see that.
And this guy,
Yeah, but pretty good cast. Actually, my favorite characters in the whole movie. If you want to show the screen here, it's these two guys. They were my favorite. Mm-hmm. The two guys in the middle there. They were the best. I would have preferred the movie to focus on them more exclusively.
Which is funny, because that's something what's the character name? Wilson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wilson.
He that's just a John Carpenter trope. You don't really know the backstory with anyone like that. Just like Snape. Yeah.
Snake blue skin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that though. These guys were my favorite
because we all get what did he killed all these people but why? We never figured out why. So
exactly.
It's nice
it was probably for good reason.
I think so too, because it's the way his mannerism is and everything too.
It kind of has that hollow feeling of lacking a backstory, which I don't know. I think some of these characters could have benefited from us knowing more about them, but it kind of has a feeling of the same kind of world as they live.
Yeah.
Which obviously was John Carpenter as well, but it has that kind of feeling of life is meaningless and everything's really stark and kind of plain. Feels very bare bones, but I enjoyed it. It was good.
I'm kind of new to really like John Carpenter. Once I started looking up his library, I'm like, whoa, I have seen quite a few movies of his.
He's amazing, yeah.
And the one theme that I kind of is like a slow burn.
Yeah.
So as you're meeting these characters and stuff, before you know it, you're invested in the character, and then they kill him off. Yep. Right when you're like, okay, I kind of get this.
He was like the originator of that.
That's why like
love Carpenter.
His movies weren't really appreciated like back then in the 70s and the 80s, but like now like they're cult classics. Like everyone loves them. Yeah. I think we spoke about this in like our old episode with the Thing.
The Thing in my opinion
this was
is
a
like,
box office like flop too.
That's crazy. But the Thing is like, I think one of the best sci-fi films ever. Like it was like so good and so creepy.
And I'm surprised that we've never. Ever, have you watched The Thing?
Yes.
So good.
And I'm a huge sci-fi fan.
Yeah.
And
so good. I mean, good. And that was one that didn't do well. Or initially, like The Thing did not do well. And that just goes to show how audiences change and how tastes change and hindsight is,
what was doing well around that time, I wonder?
Saturday Night Fever. No, I'm kidding. No, that was like late 70s. Yeah. Let's see, early 80s. You mean like around this time or around
for the
Thing time?
The Thing was more of like
E.T. stuff like that.
High school or like Breakfast Club shit like that. John Hughes films.
Valley Girl would come out a year after.
You're right.
Like that. But maybe people weren't ready for it. Maybe the advertising wasn't that great for it. Who knows? But John Carpenter even said, had the Thing done well, his whole career would have been different. He would have been doing blockbusters. But
I still agree. Like even with like all these films too. Like dude, these are great. Like,
these are really good. Yeah. If this would have been, maybe released at a different time, or I don't know, the right people had gotten a hold of it, or a better advertising campaign, it could have been legendary. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it is now, but at the time, like, it definitely deserves some more props.
Yeah, so I also give this a 3 as well too.
Hard 3?
Yeah, hard 3. I almost wanted to give it a half, like 3.5, but I'm like it says, slow burn.
Yeah, and story was lacking a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, can you skip to
which part?
Where she gets blown up.
Yeah.
Well, go to Ray Romano, the ice cream driver.
Oh, Ray Romano.
No, it's back. It's back, isn't it? It happens. I feel like it happens soon.
They were just driving up to it, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I always thought there was a little thing here where I could pick the scenes.
Yeah, no, not on the web.
So, John said you said it was like one of his first big productions.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was his first like legit movie.
I was watching an interview with him, and he was saying that he had a lot of stress in the making of this film. Like,
really?
Dark Star was sort of like he could film a scene here, film a scene there, but once you're with a production, like the whole company's there.
Yeah,
it's his first time because like he's used to like working with his friends on set and everything, but like now this is like his first like Panavision camera that he got to use as well.
It's wild.
Like even the scene that we're gonna show.
Here we go.
You probably read this too, or
here it is.
The scene that we're gonna show is
I mean,
when the girl gets shot.
No.
Yeah, here it is.
The distributors said it was rated X. They can't show that. Where she gets killed.
Oh, no
shit. They can't show that. And so they talked to him like, well, cut it out. We'll say that we cut it out, and then, but we'll just put it in there when we release it. And that's what he did. He's like, I don't fucking care.
That's badass.
That's what John Carpenter did.
Well, that's like so critical. If they would have not had this scene in here, the rest of the story wouldn't have made sense.
It wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't have made any sense.
I mean, it's still kind of like, it's like, whatever happened to that guy? He just runs in there and like doesn't say shit. He just...
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I forgot that he was there. I assumed he died.
I forgot he...
Yeah, he's like bundled up. And, anyway. But yeah, 3 out of 5 could have used some more backbone to the story. Imagine if like John Milius, who wrote Red Dawn, would have wrote and directed Red Dawn. Yeah. If he would have written this and had John Carpenter direct it and co-write with him, I think it would have been way more powerful.
Has John Carpenter really co-wrote? I feel like he's just
he co-wrote Halloween with I forget her name, but there's a woman that he co-wrote Halloween with.
Okay.
And I think, I could be wrong, but I think he co-wrote Escape from LA with somebody.
Okay.
But anyway.
So
what do you do? If you like John Carpenter, check it out. If you like gritty violence and 70s, I would call it an almost independent film. Kind of like a 70s
it has
independent
a very
film.
independent vibe to it.
Okay.
I can see what you're meaning by Ray Romano with the ice cream man.
What would you rate this one?
I'd say it's like 3.5.
Okay.
You
liked it?
Yeah, I mean, in the interview he said like he described his own personality. Yeah. He said, I really don't give a shit.
Nice. He's great, man.
And I mean, cool. I felt that, it's great. I like the gratuitous violence, and you look at the time frame. I love that there's a African American lead. That's awesome. For the time period, that's kind of like forward.
What I really liked about that too, same how they did with the Warriors, it wasn't the focal point. It wasn't like they weren't like cracking jokes about it the whole time or anything. There was like barely a mention of it, and it's just like, no, this is like
when we were recasting him.
Normal,
I was saying like you could recast him as either race because it's realistic.
Totally, yeah. And that's the mark of a true good movie when it doesn't have to be like totally focused on race like people are now.
Right. It's like a realistic archetype that you can that lasts.
Well, it's like Ripley in Alien was not written as a woman. It was just written as a character. And then Sigourney Weaver came in and crushed it. And they're like, let's make Ripley a girl.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And same with Collateral. It's like they didn't know that Max was going to be black and that Tom Cruise was going to be white. Like they had flipped around all these different characters. At one point, De Niro was going to be Tom Cruise's character, and Adam Sandler was going to be Jamie Foxx's character.
I can see that for Sandler.
Yeah.
What gave me the 0.5 was the simplicity of the score. How
the score was amazing.
It's just an electric piano and a few synthesizers.
Yeah. Like you said, like he did it within a weekend. That's like
he did it in a weekend.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he's amazing. I saw in an interview with John Carpenter recently where, he was saying...
oh, wait, this is a vanilla twist.
he was saying that a lot of...
You got the...
Oh, well, better go back and get killed. But John Carpenter was saying... This guy reminded me...
I want this pulled up. Pull it up.
Yeah, pull this up real quick, please. Oh.
Did you get that?
Don't do that.
That guy reminded me of Michael...
Don't do that.
That guy reminds me of Michael Biehn from Terminator and from Aliens. Michael Biehn.
Okay, yeah.
From Tombstone. Reminded me of him a lot.
I think that guy was actually in Escape from New York as well. He used a couple of his friends. Yeah,
he was. So it must be a buddy. But what I was going to say was about John Carpenter. I do love the violence. He would have a bad habit, especially in the early days, of spending all the budget on important stuff. Like cast and equipment and sets and stuff. And he usually wouldn't have enough money for getting someone to score the movie. So a lot of times he'd be like, I got to do it again.
Well, it was so expensive.
And so he would do it himself, and he kind of became just like an amazing craftsman because he could do all aspects. Yep. And I think that's what's great. I mean, if you really like his music, you should check out some of his albums. He's made some actual albums.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just bought his Lost Tapes recently.
Yeah.
Is it lots of synth or?
Yeah, like almost entirely. Yeah. It's super good, man. It's super good. He's still going strong. He's still making music.
I know he's like a big influence for like Trent Reznor.
Yes.
I heard that.
Yeah, I could totally see that. But yeah, John Carpenter, the man. If you're a fan of any of his stuff, do yourself a favor, check this one out. Like I said, it's not amazing, but to think that it came out in 1976, it is pretty groundbreaking. Like,
especially make sure you do watch this on like I said, like HBO or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Like, don't watch it on.
It's
probably gonna kill it for you.
Watch it on a big screen because it's very beautiful. It holds up visually. It holds up. I would say if you like this film, I would say definitely 100% watch the first Dirty Harry with Clint Eastwood, because that was like in the 70s when they were like, okay, like more rebel filmmaking, like more action, more grit. Absolutely. I would say Bullet, Steve McQueen, 100% like The Warriors. I would say watch The Warriors.
Like I said, I said it earlier, like Night of the Living Dead. It just has like, just because of the goons and everything, they don't even say anything. They're just breaking in. It just feels like they're very zombie-like.
They're very creepy. Yeah.
And do you want to do alternative casting now? Or?
I feel like if you want to see a movie like this, you could also watch like some sort of zombie movie or something.
Oh, totally.
Kind of feels like that a little bit.
The one that I referenced earlier, Red Dawn. I think Red Dawn would be very kind of like people, like against the odds.
I Am Legend, maybe.
Yeah, I Am Legend. Another one that came out in that era that was, I think, the predecessor to I Am Legend was Omega Man, and then also the one Heston did, Soylent Green. That was one that was kind of in this era, like I think a little earlier.
Yeah, similar vibes.
But anyway, if you like cheesy action, that still has a little bit of gore to it, It's like,
why didn't they pull the bus in? That kind of weirded me out.
I don't know
why.
I don't know.
So did you have alternative castings done?
I actually didn't think of any, but I'll do it right now while you guys say yours. I'll think about it.
I got mine right now.
I'm gonna pull my phone up. Figure it out.
This is actually, I like this one. You might like this one too. For actor Darwin Johnson, who played Wilson, Harry Dean Stanton.
Ooh, really good.
Because he's actually collaborated with John Carpenter a few times.
Okay.
I think he would be great. I don't know if you'll know who this is. So the guy who plays Bishop, Austin Stoker, I would say Sidney Poitier. He was also a black man, but he was like in the movies back then. He was like a lot of action. He did detective movies. He did like I believe he was also like in a prison as well as a escapee.
Okay.
And then for Lay, who was played by Laurie Zimmer, I said Sissy Spacek.
Solid. Really good ones.
Carrie.
Yeah.
I think that's like I couldn't really like decide on who to
the
play her.
bloody prom.
But I'm like back in that era. I'm like, I think that's she would have fit well, right?
Those are solid,
because of Badlands with Martin Sheen and stuff.
She knows how to hold her own.
Mm-hmm. And then Max.
So for the lead, I was thinking like Will Smith from I Am Legend.
Okay,
He could have played the lead.
definitely.
The secretary who gets killed, I wanted her to be Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah,
And then
because she's annoying.
like the strong woman lead, Uma Thurman.
That would have been hot.
Yeah,
I like
right.
Uma.
And who did I have for? I don't know.
Wilson was like, I had to like think on him. That's why I like.
I didn't write one down for him.
Why?
He did a good job.
I'm still having a hard time thinking.
I heard that
He only did like one.
John Carpenter played a gang member in this, but
Did he?
I couldn't find. I
didn't see him either. It must have been real quick. It must have been like maybe he was just creeping in the background.
He wasn't actually in the credits for it, but on the IMDb, it's in there.
He's in there. I mean, that's something I would do if I'm making a film. Like, I'm gonna put myself in there.
Pop
randomly.
in.
It's like Peter Jackson with all his movies too. Like,
Yeah.
I just watched Frighteners the other night, and he's just in there. Like Michael J. Fox bumps into him, and he's just like, "Fuck you, asshole," and then that's
cool.
it.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time with these. I get he'd be a little young, but let's say it was made a few years later. Lawrence Fishburne for the lead, I think could have pulled it off.
That's a remake.
Oh, was it? Was
He's
he?
in the- he's in the
Well,
remake.
fuck. Okay, I didn't
Really?
even think about that.
Yeah, but he plays like the Wilson character.
That's why I thought. Okay. Okay. For how about this instead? For the lead in this, I would say Charles Bronson back then could have pulled it off.
Yeah.
I'd say Bronson, and then
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
he might have been a little young, but Wilson right here, Chris Cooper from he was in like October Sky with Jake Gyllenhaal, the dad.
Oh, the dad. Okay.
Yeah, because he kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like him. I can't think of any others right now. I'd probably just pick some dudes from the Warriors and throw them in there.
It's sad
The
too,
camera
'cause,
work is so good.
The camera work is very good.
Like Wilson, the actor, he's only played in a couple films. He played on one other John Carpenter film.
Oh, did he?
The Fog. He was just a scientist, and after that,
Okay.
his career just.
I never saw The
flopped.
Fog.
I've never seen The Fog either. That's what I just heard.
Have you
about
seen
it.
The Fog?
I haven't seen the Fog.
Okay. Do we want to see The Fog or do we want to save it? Because we already did a John
I
Carpenter.
think we can save it.
Yeah, because we already
It'll be a
came
future
up,
one,
We
yeah.
already came up with our one for this week or next week, I should say. So.
Yeah, I think I don't like to have like the same pacing too much.
Yeah, 'cause too many
in a
similar
row.
titles. It's good to
Yeah.
kind of mix it up.
Yeah.
It's almost like going to the video store and picking out your comedy and picking out your horror and picking out your action. Anywho, but yeah, good movie overall.
Did you end up watching the remake at all?
I did not watch the remake at all. What were your thoughts on it?
It's entertaining, but they try to do like some kind of like Die Hard thing. It was like taking place of New Year's Eve.
I
like,
did see that. I
holiday
read a little bit about it.
And like
after I'd seen
I
this
like
one.
Ethan Hawke's character in there. It was completely different from this vibe.
Okay.
Like it was trying to be its own thing.
That's good that they
which
did
I
that,
like. I
though.
respected it, but
Yeah.
I was like, it still wasn't that. Like this is way better.
Yeah.
Like,
Were all
100%.
the weapons silenced for the most part?
I don't. Yeah, actually they were. Yeah.
That was
There's a couple
interesting
of them, yeah.
choice.
I can see Dennis Hopper playing the dad here.
No, okay.
I
Absolutely.
can see Dennis Hopper
Yeah.
flipping out. You killed her, you bastards. Yeah, good
He was good.
movie, definitely. It was one of those like the more I thought about it, the more I was kind of like, yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I appreciate
That's
it.
why like I was going back to it. I was like, first like when I watched it, I was like, I don't really enjoy it. And then I'm like thinking about it. I was like,
It was
I mean,
hard
for its time and everything. Like it's like really cool.
It was progressive, but
like you said, they're like the point of it is like some of it's like does not make sense.
yeah, it feels a little student filmish in some aspects of the story. Just
Well,
where
how
it's
old
kinda
was like Carpenter when this came out? He's probably like what?
probably late 20s.
20s, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably late. He was young. He was a young director.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, good shit. So let's talk about what we're gonna watch next.
We are going to watch a.
I should probably pull it up here.
Sorry,
No, it's okay.
Ben Stiller film.
Yeah.
What did I say? It was 98.
Yes.
Permanent Midnight.
And I'm just gonna pull up the images in a second. I'll tell you when.
I like Ben Stiller.
I love Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller is so. I think he's so underrated.
He's smart.
I want him.
He
like,
does so much.
He needs to direct more. Like,
Think so.
I love his like.
Dude, Walter Mitty?
Yeah, Walter Mitty, my favorite Ben Stiller film
so good.
that he's directed, I should say.
So he got. I remember his dad was on a lot of stuff that he wrote.
Yeah. Jerry
Was
Stiller.
his was he in the industry?
Oh, Jerry
Yeah,
Stiller?
Jerry? Yeah,
yeah.
and-
No,
and
what
his
did he
mom.
do?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really?
He was.
Oh.
He had been a performer and an actor, like doing like character roles all the way back since like I think the 1950s or early 60s, and his mom was too. And
Very cool.
then he started getting more
I mean,
and
it
more
makes sense.
roles, and then he got really famous when he was on Seinfeld and King of Queens as the older dad on both those. George Costanza's dad and
Right, right.
what's her name, Leah Remini's dad. But Yeah, they were super active in the industry, so it makes sense that Ben Stiller was so successful.
Yep.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, from what I'm seeing from the Google Images here, if you wanna share the screen here, my friend, we're gonna make our predictions. I'm gonna say he is a drug addicted. I'm gonna say heroin and coke addicted writer, and he is seeking inspiration for a new book. Oh, I see a baby here. A baby gets thrown in.
There are too many clues
Am I
here.
seeing something right now?
There are too many clues.
Yeah.
Should we go back?
Let's just look
I
at
see-
the.
I see-
Let's just look at the.
I see Owen.
You see Owen?
I see Owen.
Holy shit.
I see Owen.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is a lot of info. We got to be careful with this. This is a lot of info. But
Just click on the movie poster.
how do we click on?
Him smoking.
How about this one?
The poster. One of the posters. Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's him doing heroin.
I didn't even see that until you.
Open like a new window.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Permanent Midnight. So I'm gonna say he's a drug-addled writer trying to find inspiration for a new book, and I'm gonna say he like owes money to the mafia or something and ends up doing something extreme, kind of like an Uncut Gems type thing. That's what I'm gonna guess. What do you guys think?
That was really good.
Is that good?
I have to think for mine for a second.
Okay, that's my.
I'm thinking he
Yes.
might be stuck in this permanent loop. Maybe he only sleeps during the day.
Okay.
He's under a lot of pressure. Maybe I was thinking maybe he owed someone money.
Yeah.
Who's that love interest in the back?
Dude, I love Elizabeth
Hurley. And I wish I didn't see that on there.
She is amazing.
I think he's gonna get the girl. I think it's gonna be a little funny, or not funny
I think
at
it's
all.
gonna be dramatic as
I
heck.
think there's gonna be a lot of drama.
There's got to be a little bit of funny.
It's gonna be a dark comedy.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
good.
I'm gonna
so.
say it's gonna be like Uncut Gems, and I think he might like even OD
yeah.
or something. Like it looks pretty serious.
He looks sad.
Yeah, it looks. He's an underrated
Very
dramatic
somber.
actor. He's definitely capable.
Yeah,
I
he
feel like
is.
him and Sandler. It's like they
Yeah,
were
like you
so
said,
they
yep.
were so funny though. It's like easy to get typecast. But
Doesn't
Elizabeth
look
Hurley-
like him to me.
Yeah, he's like more leading man. He's looking more like Ben Affleck there.
Yeah.
He's morphing into another Ben. But anyway, what do you think?
I feel like,
like we hit the nail
I
on
feel
the
like you
head.
guys hit. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like literally, like even like the permanent, like he's stuck in that loop kind of thing. I'm like, that's good. Like I can't even like hit that. I think you guys are like pretty spot on
Yeah.
the nose there. Sorry.
I hope
gonna
that
go
it
with
sort of like suspends it so where you don't know exactly what's going on and you're kind of in his mind and you feel his insanity.
I will change it a little bit too. With I think she might die. And it's gonna corrupt his life a little bit more.
No.
She's so hot. Wasn't she in Bedazzled?
Bedazzled, yeah.
Yeah, I love her. She's also in Austin Powers.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a dime piece. What happened to her? Boy.
She just did I think she's producing wardrobe and stuff too. She's still active in the industry, I believe.
Good. Yeah, she was as
She
hot
still
as
she still looks great.
as
to
hot
this
as they
day,
come.
yeah.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, so if you would like to join us on the next episode, please make sure you watch Permanent Midnight with Ben Stiller so you can be in on the action and know what we're talking about, because that's the point of the show, guys. If you watch it and have an understanding, you'll enjoy it 10 times as much.
This is actually so to watch this. It's on Prime for free. So there we go. If you have Amazon Prime, you can go ahead and watch this.
Nice.
Yeah, and if not, go to the video store and punch the clerk 7 times and steal it.
Yep. There you
All
go.
right. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Be
Please
kind.
rewind.
And subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
See you next time.